Title: What changes could Trump bring after winning? Kamala's loss, Modi-Trump impact on India-US relations, and the consequences for Pakistan. With Donald Trump back in the political spotlight after his latest win, the political landscape in both the United States and globally is about to undergo some significant changes. But what exactly could we expect from a Trump administration now? And why did Kamala Harris, a rising star, lose her momentum in the race? Let's break it down and also look at how this could impact India, especially in the context of Modi-Trump relations. And yes, what does this all mean for Pakistan? Section 1. Trump's potential changes after winning. First, let's talk about Donald Trump and the changes he could bring now that he's back in power. If Trump's previous term is any indication, we can expect America First policies to return, focusing on economic nationalism, trade protectionism, and a push to bring back more manufacturing jobs to the US. Trump may reinstate or strengthen tariffs on countries he sees as economic rivals. China, in particular, would likely be at the center of this. On the foreign policy front, expect a tougher stance on international relations. Trump has always been skeptical of multilateral organizations, and it's likely we'll see more emphasis on bilateral agreements and less reliance on international institutions like the United Nations or the World Trade Organization. Trump's approach to immigration will likely stay hardline as well. Expect a stronger push for border security and immigration reforms aimed at curbing illegal immigration while potentially offering pathways for legal, skilled immigration. Section 2. Why Kamala Harris lost. Assumptions from an Indian perspective. Now, let's shift gears and talk about Kamala Harris and her surprising loss in the race. From an Indian perspective, the reasons behind Kamala Harris's loss could be multifaceted. First, there's the issue of her personal political brand. While Kamala is undoubtedly a trailblazer, her political record was often viewed as a mixed bag, especially her tough-on-crime stance when she was a prosecutor. This might have alienated key voter blocs, particularly those who were looking for a more progressive candidate. Another contributing factor could be her connection to the establishment. Despite her diverse background, she couldn't shake off the perception that she represented the political elite. In a time when Americans are increasingly frustrated with traditional politicians, Kamala's establishment ties might have worked against her in a race where voters were looking for a fresh face to challenge the status quo. Lastly, from an Indian perspective, Kamala's background and heritage were widely celebrated, but her connection to India was not necessarily seen as an advantage in this race. In fact, some Indians felt that Kamala's strong stance on domestic issues like healthcare reform or social justice, while important, took precedence over building stronger foreign policy ties with countries like India. Section 3. Modi-Trump impact on India-US relations. Looking ahead, the relationship between India and the US could see significant improvements under Trump's leadership. Narendra Modi and Donald Trump have a shared sense of nationalism and have forged a close personal rapport. If Trump returns, this could lead to a stronger economic partnership, particularly in trade and defense. Trade between the US and India could see positive shifts, with Trump likely pushing for more free trade agreements. Both countries are aligned on key issues, such as countering China's rise in Asia. Under Trump, expect the US to offer even more military support to India, especially with regard to defense cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region. Joint military exercises, defense deals, and intelligence sharing could expand significantly. Trump's focus on energy could also benefit India. The US is a major producer of oil and natural gas, and India has been trying to reduce its reliance on Middle Eastern oil. Expect a boost in energy exports to India under a Trump administration, as well as increased collaboration in renewable energy and nuclear power. Politically, both leaders have a shared commitment to national sovereignty and security, which could lead to more robust cooperation on issues like terrorism, cybersecurity, and economic stability. Section 4. The consequences for Pakistan. So, what does all of this mean for Pakistan? With Trump in power, Pakistan could find itself under even greater pressure than it already is. Trump has been extremely vocal about his criticism of Pakistan's role in the region. His administration has repeatedly criticized Pakistan for harboring terrorist groups and not doing enough to curb extremism. If Trump continues on this path, expect even tougher sanctions and potentially more isolation for Pakistan from the West. This could further alienate Pakistan from key allies, especially as India's ties with the US grow stronger. Another concern for Pakistan could be the US-India defense partnership. As India strengthens its military and economic ties with the US, Pakistan could feel more encircled, especially in the Afghanistan and Kashmir regions. Trump may encourage India to take a more assertive stance in South Asia, which could create tensions with Pakistan, particularly over issues like Kashmir and cross-border terrorism. Pakistan's growing reliance on China could also come under scrutiny. While Trump might not want to alienate Pakistan entirely, the growing China-Pakistan alliance could become a source of friction, as the US seeks to counter Chinese influence in the region. In conclusion, the world could see significant shifts in the coming years, with Trump's victory potentially reshaping US foreign policy and its relationship with countries like India and Pakistan. While Trump-Modi ties could open new doors for economic and defense cooperation, Pakistan may face increasing isolation if it continues to align itself with China and fails to address Western concerns over terrorism. As for Kamala Harris, her loss could be attributed to a combination of factors, including her political image and challenges in connecting with voters looking for change. But in any case, her time may come again. American politics are unpredictable. So, what do you think? How do you see Trump's second term impacting the global landscape? And what are your thoughts on the future of India-US relations? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.